things I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. So during the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we're making back out. Yes, I have my doubts. But they wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. So roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. And I have my doubts. So I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we're making back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening, Watchmen and Watchwomen of YouTube and Patreon. So, I went ahead and went public on YouTube tonight. I kind of like to touch base once in a while. Plus, if there's something kind of significant, I like to go public so you guys are aware. And so, being that it is Thursday, which is our Friday, so to speak, I wanted to make sure we went ahead and went live publicly, because the latest stance or posture from Israel regarding Palestine, or the Gaza Strip. as you may or may not have heard, Israel has announced that I believe they're going to be sending ground troops in. So I don't know if anything's happened as of yet. I will say this. For the last 2, 3 days or whatever, I'd been catching an RT video feed, and that RT video feed has had basically just Gaza Strip, just like a camera on top of one of the buildings. Well, I think I said something last night about yesterday, had witnessed a block being bombed. And I don't mean like an apartment block, I mean like a city block. And anyway, today there hasn't been those streams. No streams. And like I say, Israel said they're going to do this. Whether or not they've started to do it or what's going on, I don't know. There hasn't been any news come out to my knowledge yet of any ground troops entering as of yet. So we'll see. This situation is certainly escalating, and it is something that I think we better keep a close eye on, because it's not necessarily, it's not just about our initial reaction, okay? You also have to consider other nations too. Russia has spoke up and spoke out in support of Palestine, more or less telling Israel to take it down a notch. So you've got that. As you know, China is not a fan of Israel. China is more in line with Iran. Iran is in line with Palestine. So you can see where I'm going with this. It doesn't take long for a pile-on to commence. All it takes is that third nation to get involved. And that's what I'm looking out for at this time is another nation to actually get involved. I mean, boots in the ground, drones in the air, whatever, involved. So we'll see. We'll see. I know this stuff goes on all the time, but it's been coming to a head, and I think that's kind of where we're at now. And I have a feeling that the Palestinians are pretty much going to push, like it's now or never. We'll see. Again, I have not heard really anything about what's going on over there now. So that may be good news, that may be bad news. They may not have communication. So I don't know. That's my initial concern, is that communication is knocked out so that nobody is allowed to know what's going on. So my initial concern. And like I say, if a third nation gets involved, I can see a pile-on happening pretty quickly. So we'll see. We'll see. I know that there was some reportedly missiles shot out of Lebanon. So I thought that was interesting. And I'm still expecting a zinger to happen. And what do I mean by a zinger? Well, they only have, these they're really not all that. I don't know what to say. They're rockets, but they're not, to my knowledge, in any way guided, and they don't really have a powerful, payload on them or anything like that. They're, don't get me wrong, they can cause damage, they can take lives, they can cause problems, but in comparison to much of anything anyone else has got, they're not much of anything. I have a feeling, though, that out of the blue, that these individuals are going to wind up with something a little more technological. And while it may not be anything of the nuclear sort or anything like that, it may be something with actual guidance. It may be something with a bigger payload. If they could launch a volley of these not very good, blue light special missiles, and in the midst of that volley, launch a few, and I mentioned this already too, launched a few of the zingers, chances are they're going to get one through. And, if they targeted something like the nuclear power plant, like they seem to have targeted, that's going to leave a mark. So, again, it's something to keep a close eye on. I I don't know that this is going to settle down. You know how the Middle East is. It gets stirred up and calms down, gets stirred up. I don't know that it's going to get calmed down. I don't know that we're going to see calm. I have a feeling that the Middle East is about to light up. I have a feeling that Asia is about to light up. I have a feeling that Europe is probably about to light up. There is so much discontent across the world right now. It's unreal. So you have to understand, there's countries like India and China that don't see eye to eye, that have been, very close to serious conflict. You've got nations in the EU and whatnot that are really kind of having a hard time making agreements. Okay, and it's some cases it's starting to get a little bit heated. You got nations all over that that for either resources or any number of other things, they're at odds with each other. And that is what it is. But unfortunately, we've reached a point in this world and on this planet to where we've let individuals, namely bankers, call the shots. And they've got all the people of all the nations somehow believing that they're indebted with their life to one another. And we've reached we've reached a point with these different nations and their banking agreements that there's pretty much no way that any one of the countries could ever come back out on top. It's pretty much what the job of the IMF is, to sink countries. And I know banking is a far cry away from war in one sense, but in the end, it's really the reason why we're there. And while these other nations participate in the world banking systems, namely like Russia and China, not only do they have ways around it, but they exist. And see, the United States has a problem. Their dollar, which is currently the world's reserve currency, is falling. Now, if we would lose that position of world reserve currency, it'd be gone in the blink of an eye. The dollar. It would have absolutely. You think it's worthless now? It would be worth less than Venezuela's money if we lost the reserve currency. That's the only thing propping it up. That is it. So, you know, you have to understand we are going to go to war because this is how, oddly enough, this is how the nations solve this problem. When everybody owes everybody else too much money, they blow each other up. It's, I guess, the unwritten rule. So you can figure a global conflict is coming just from the economic side of things. And then, of course, you look at the geopolitical, that's a no-brainer. Every direction you look at, not only that, but there's other factors too, which is crazy to say, but when nations make so many technological advancements in certain ways, like it's namely militarily, okay, they will go for a certain length of time before they just can't take it anymore, and they have to use it on one another, right? And so that, believe it or not, it may sound silly, but that plays a part in it too. Okay, you've got some of these bigger nations that are just itching to get out there and play with their toys, and I'm not kidding. And there has been a lot of technological advancements. You haven't heard about them yet. In fact, I would guarantee you that most of the military members haven't heard of them yet because it's been kept under the rug. A lot of this stuff is going to be able to be employed and deployed very easily. As far as the utilization, the training on it's going to be nothing. And we're talking all kinds of different robotics, automation, you name it. And it's just sitting there waiting. In fact, I don't know if I shared out the news article or not, but they're building a big hangar, another big ass hangar, a huge hangar. I want to say it's like in Boston or something like that. Anyway, a huge hangar to store drones. New York. It's somewhere in New York. And it's to store drones. And I guess they're going to massively increase the drone production, and they need a place to put them. Now, the particular drone that was pictured wasn't a Predator, and it wasn't something like I've got. It was in the middle, okay? It was definitely a sizable aircraft, but it wasn't as big as a Predator. And it looked more geared for along the lines of surveillance. And I I want to say it was the police that are getting them. It's not the military. I want to say it's the police that are getting them. I think. I'll have to look. But that all plays into it. See, if you think that there's not something up with this 1033 program, and just to refresh memories, that's the program to where the government, the U.S. government, gives military vehicles and equipment to the police departments, okay? And it has been a controversial program because these items are supposed to be used only in certain instances, while they're using them as toys, essentially. Well, anyway, all of that's going to play into this. And how's that work into all these other words and all that? Because I'm telling you, man, I think all the world's a stage. And I think we're being had. Now, I'm not saying that the wars won't be real. I'm not saying that people won't die. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is I honestly think that these nations, they're not at war with one another. They're working with one another. I really do think so. Because I'll tell you what, it doesn't take a whole lot to see those puppet strings. It really doesn't. You can see them. It's not that hard. You know, I can't believe for a second that these nations, you know, full of extremely intelligent individuals, ain't none of them picked up yet that they're being played against one another. I'm not buying it. Not buying it. So we'll see what happens, but definitely keep an eye on it. And as I've been saying for, gosh, I don't know how long, you know, how's this any different for you? Well, it's really not. It's really not. You still have to do the same thing. You have to get ready. You have to get prepared. Same thing, same answer. So that's like I've said a million times, that's the only good news about any of this. You know, the answer for you stays the same. Continue getting ready. You know, I'll be here and do the news as long as I can. You know, but you have to get ready on your own. And I'm telling you, it would be a really good idea to get ready. I don't think this is going to go well. I have a feeling that if it does start out in the Middle East, it'll start there, but I don't think it'll take long before things kind of start to heat up here. And I don't know necessarily if it'd just be a localized thing with individuals, or if it will be a little bit larger, more organized, or at some point, I'm sure we're going to have full-fledged, you know, military contact here. But I think in the beginning, it's going to start out more guerrilla-like, to be honest. So, oh man, I'll tell you, it's been crazy. Hi guys, by the way, I see you over there. Yeah, it's been crazy. So, by the way, updates here, not much of anything. Played around with the camera today, learning the time lapse and hyperlapse and all that good stuff on it. Just learning a little bit more how to use it, how to get the best out of it. Other than that, still not done with the prepper closet. Yes, I'm dragging my feet. It's still here. When I say it was actually pretty sunny most of the day, but we got maybe up to about 68, 69. And it's just like, it's just this long drug out. And I can't wait until we can consistently be at least in the 70s, which I think we actually start that trend starting tomorrow. So, yay. So maybe we can get some warmth this way. And so I'm not far from done. I just got a few more things I need to put out in the shed, and then things to move back and forth here and there inside here, and then it's done. And I'll get the rest of the video shot for that. And then the next thing after that will be that video go out on YouTube, the prepper closet video. And then the next video I'm going to do after that will be a Patreon only video. And that's setting up my planter pots, my hybrid hydroponics setup. I don't know what to call it. I have to make up the name myself because I'm the one that came up with the idea. And that's essentially what it is. It's a hybrid hydroponic system. So anyway, I'll be doing a video on how I set those up, and then I guess probably starting on the stove and doing that project. So we'll see. I got lots of stuff that I plan on doing. Lots of stuff. There's a lot of things that I have to do, just things that I have to do. And so I'm going to video them. Like, I got to air the tent out. It's a good idea every year. If you've got a tent, make sure you get it out. You put it up. You let it air out. You check everything good. If it needs waterproof, you take care of that. Even debating that, even though it's a brand new tent. I'm debating getting some waterproofing and going ahead and waterproofing it if I decide to do that. Either way, I am going to make a video of putting the tent up. It's one of the reasons why I was testing the hyperlapse feature, because that would be a good video to do on hyperlapse. Anyway, so if I decide that I'm going to waterproof it, then I'll make another video yet on waterproofing a tent. So I likely will, because like I say, even though it's a new tent, yeah, still not a bad idea. So trying to think if there's anything else. Don't really know. It's been pretty mellow as of late. And like I said, I've been taking the time out to get to know this camera a little better. I was going to take the drones up today and didn't get out there. Temperature. I was hoping it would peak up over 70 a little bit, and it never did. And I'm just not that, you know what I mean? I'll get out there over the coming days and get them up in the air. I got the batteries charged up on them and did that last night. So I'll get them out, get them up, and here soon I'm going to be doing hopefully a good video on them. So I've been promising that now for, has it been 2 years now? But you are going to get, hopefully, will be a good drone video. So, and it's going to be geared towards prepping, you know. It's not going to be like a drone review video or anything like that. It's going to be a video kind of explaining why and showing the benefits and stuff like that when it comes to prepping. So, but also the capabilities and stuff like that. Good things to know. So, what, babe? Oh, yeah. That's my Kleenex. That's my roll of Kleenex. I constantly have to blow my nose, and so yeah, a lot cheaper than Kleenexes. Yeah. Ah, man, trying to think. If there's anything. There was actually quite a few different things in the news today. The news was lit up like a Christmas tree for the most part. Um. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And when it just came out, hang on, let me get this out for the headlines. Um. Yeah, I was gonna share that next. I actually went and verified this tweet because I was like, what? And this is actually what this article is about. But instead of the article, I'm going to bring up the picture I have of the tweet. Here you go. The rule is now simple: get vaccinated or wear a mask until you do. The choice is yours. So I saw this on Facebook. Somebody posted it, and I thought, and so I went on Twitter and I checked myself, and sure enough, and yeah, that's not good. That's not good. So that is something we're gonna want to keep a close eye on. Um, this dude is off his rocker. Absolutely off his rocker. And I don't think his vaccination plan is going to go well. Just saying. Um, I I've thought about this multiple times. You know how this is going to play out with the vaccine stuff, and not just vaccine stuff, but a lot of other things that we have debates over in this nation, gun control, you name it. Um, you know, I really think that this vaccine thing is going to come to a head. And I think that you're going to have some states like, say, New York, California, that are going to be like, yeah, 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 mandatory, mandatory. I'm afraid because we're in Illinois, and I'm afraid with Pritzker that he'll take a dive off that boat too, and then you're going to have states like Florida and Missouri and Texas. They're going to say not no, but hell no, and I'm wondering if it's really going to come down to that. And then those states that it becomes mandatory in, I wonder how mandatory is mandatory. You know what I mean? I mean, are they literally going to be sending people to show up at your door to either vaccinate you or take you into custody? Those are the things that I've been thinking about, because I think that is what, at least on a domestic level, we need to be looking at very hard. It's very clear what the intent is. I think Biden made that very clear, did he not? I mean, he almost spoke as if it was already the law. So I don't know. I don't know. Inflation has been a topic heavy on people's minds as of late. I don't think we're getting the accurate numbers I don't think we're getting close to the accurate numbers. And then, as you know, things like food aren't even included. So, my question is what's going to happen when the government has to stop? Because there's going to be a point to where the government has to stop. And when I say stop, I'm talking about printing money, all the crap they're doing. That's what we need to be prepared for. Because once Uncle Sam turns that faucet off, it's going to be instant chaos. I I see that as being one of the biggest threats that we face. I truly do. That is all they would have to do. Um, I don't know. See, one thing you have to understand is I don't fall, or at least I try not to, fall for the propaganda. And a lot of propaganda about every administration and all that. And depending on the president, there are some presidents to where they just slap the stupid sticker on. George Bush Jr. Was one of them that got massively slammed with the stupid sticker. And George Bush Jr. is not that stupid. He sounds stupid. He's not stupid. Just because somebody sounds stupid doesn't mean they are stupid, right? And, so a lot of people thought that he just didn't know what the hell he was doing or what he was talking about, right? Well, now here we go again with Biden, and it's much the same case. Man, I get it, and I've shared memes. I've made memes. I get it. Okay. In fact, I shared memes today about it. I get it. I mean, I guess you guys deserve to see the meme. I did talk about it. I mean, now I feel obligated. Now I feel obligated and such. There you go. It says, I've always been a fan of the Beatles music and never understood this song until now. He's a real nowhere man, sitting in his nowhere land, making all his nowhere plans for nobody. Doesn't have a point of view, knows not where he's going to. Yep, that pretty much describes it. So, it's official. The Beatles was not only an amazing band, they were also prophets. Gosh. So anyway. Trying to think of other notable things. The pipeline's coming back up online, so folks can relax with that. I mean, there will be shortages ongoing for a little bit. I'm sure the price increases will continue to go on for a little bit yet, but it is on the way. So that's good news. I mean, there were several little things today, and I'm sure I'll run into them as I do the headlines. But the biggest thing, like I said, biggest thing is keep on getting ready, keep on prepping. I actually can't wait to get this prepper closet video done, to show you guys the ideas that I had come up with for the, like I say, it's not, we don't have a lot, and the thing of it is, we don't have a lot of room either, and that causes issues. So I had to make the best of what little room we had, and I'm actually anxious to show you, because with the small amount of room that it is, many people could be able to do similar. And I think the particular idea of the closet, I think it's a good idea. Now, the idea that I'm making a YouTube video of it kind of nixes this for us, but for most of you, as long as you don't make a video of it and put it publicly somewhere, I'll tell you what, there are a lot of people that would probably pass this closet up. Really, to be honest. If somebody was coming in here to scavenge for food, if that's what they wanted, they were looking for food, they probably would never go to that closet. The door's, it's right there. You can see the door right there. This is the living room. They'd go to the kitchen, right? Probably wouldn't go into there. And so anyway, it's kind of hidden, kind of out of the way. You'll see. That's why I can't wait to show you. I think it turned out well. But continue to get ready. That's the important thing. And like I said, even if it's just, if you can just get one more day's worth of supplies, that's great. That's another day's worth of supplies. I mean, you keep adding those days up, and it becomes substantial. Doesn't take long, You add 14 days up, well, you've extended yourself 2 weeks. Okay? So what if it took you a month to extend yourself 2 weeks? Who cares? Who cares if it took you 3 months to extend yourself 2 weeks? Doesn't matter. It's not a race. Not a race. So just keep moving forward with it. Very important. Trying to think. At this point, I'm almost ready for 80 million people voting from the rooftops, I'm telling you. This is insanity. This is insanity. And what gets me is the polls. I know you guys have seen the polls. Oh my goodness. And I'm talking like the approval rating polls. It's the ones I'm talking about. Like this guy, his approval ratings are more spectacular than his election win. I'm surprised they don't just say he's got 100% approval. They might as well just say it. 100% approval. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I sit there and I think about that, and it's like, who can trust the media? Who can trust the government? Where do you go from here? You've got the silent majority now that are on to the sham. Where do we go from here? Because, they're not just going to say, oh, well, I'm sorry. I know I did wrong. It's not how they operate. I have a feeling it's about to get fun. But we'll see. That's another reason why the United States needs war. Because if we can go into war, then that will settle things down domestically. So, at least in their eyes. So, I don't know what's going to work this time. It depends. Um, if there's combat here, action here, which I do believe there will be, yeah, it's gonna change things here drastically. Um, Aside from veterans, military veterans, you know, people here don't know war. They're, aside from seeing it on a television screen, they have no idea. Including myself. I'm not a vet. I lived on a TV screen. I hadn't experienced it. So there's going to be a huge, I hate to use this term because it really doesn't define it, but a culture shock of sorts. And that alone in this nation is going to be crippling. Because somebody's got to deal with those that lose it. And there's going to be a whole hell of a lot of those that lose it. Because they're not Americans, the ones that, haven't done combat or anything like that. We're pretty soft. Let's be real. Let's be honest. We're soft. I'm soft. Oh, we're at. I don't know if they are on the ground confirmed or not. Earlier on, I was talking about that. The last couple of days, I had been watching a video stream from RT News, and they were showing the rocket attacks, and so today I haven't seen that RT stream, and so it's actually kind of concerned me, because I'm starting to suspect that maybe they have no way to get out. Maybe they have no communication. I don't know if internet's been cut off or not. I don't know how I would find out, to tell you the truth. If internet or communications have been shut down from Gaza, or what's going on. So I haven't heard anything as of yet. So nothing at all. Been kind of keeping an eye out myself. Oh, they did. Okay. All I know is from what the Netanyahu said. Pardon me. The Netanyahu said that they were going to. When he announced they were going to. Let's see. IDF announces Israeli ground troops attacking Gaza Strip. Hang on, let me see what this last one might have been. Okay. Yeah, see this this is the latest that I know right here. Um Israeli ground troops have now joined the Air Force in attacking the Gaza Strip. The IDF has announced neither confirming nor denying whether any soldiers have actually crossed into the Palestinian enclave. So, I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of what I was wondering, if they were actually over there or not. Let's see. I'm pulling up. Yeah, 4 hours ago, IDF air and ground troops are currently attacking in the Gaza Strip. Um, yeah, yeah. So I mean, that's the only thing, and I kind of I wonder, since RT is not streaming, um, that would certainly make sense why. So that is crazy. I wonder if all communication is cut off from Palestine. I have absolutely no sources or anything like that um, when it comes to Palestine. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, I've been keeping a close eye on it because, like I said earlier, my concern with this is that other nations are going to get involved, and um, Russia has been very vocal about their thoughts, and I think China. I mean, I know they've said things here and there, but I think China has been really reserved, to be honest. Um, and I kind of have a feeling that we might be surprised by their possible involvement. Um, we'll see. We'll see. Um, Definitely an escalation, and then of course we can't forget Iran. And I'm telling you, I think if it's not this time around that it explodes into something big, um, very possibly the next time around. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, like I said earlier, it's only a matter of time before one of these nations, like Iran or something like that, starts giving these folks some missiles that have some capability, some guidance capabilities, some actual warhead capability. It's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. And after this, if things don't completely come to a head this time, I guarantee you the next time, next major time that they start striking at Israel, they have more advanced weapons. So, let me look over there. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Um, I'm sure they would do everything they could to cut power and cut communications, and that's just crazy. Um, like I say, we'll see, and all of this could change in the blink of an eye. I'm really shocked, uh, to be honest, at the restraint that other countries have had. To be honest, um, I know that no country really wants to go up in a mushroom cloud. I get that. Um, but I am really shocked that nobody's really stepped up to the plate yet in defense of Palestine. So, I mean, actually, directly militarily. So, but it's coming. And, if it don't happen this time around, it's all coming the next time around. Because, like I said, this is major. This is big. And with everything else going on, with uh, the annexation that happened, and with the settlements that are happening, and everything else, there's a lot of unease, and they've had it. The Palestinians have absolutely had it, and so they're gonna fight back. Their backs are to the wall. They're gonna fight back, and of course that's going to create a response, which is going to create other responses, And it's only a matter of time before it's one big game of pile-on. And like I said, that's either going to be this round or I'm thinking good chance this round. But if not, likely the next because of that advanced weaponry. Once they get a really good one in on Israel, that'll be that. If they get a chance to really get a good one in on Israel, if they would hit that nuclear power plant or something like that, then yeah, it would be on. It would be on like you would never imagine. And I believe that other nations would instantly step in because I think that the level of violence would be so dramatic. And we may that may be what's going on right now. That may be what's going on right now. I know that the attacks over the last few days have been significant in comparison to the usual back and forth. So it's coming to a head. It's definitely coming to a head. You have to think about all this kind of stuff because, man, I'll tell you what, we're in a pickle in this nation. We hear a lot about energy dependence and all of that and national security with energy dependence. But the one thing that we really lost track of and let slip from our fingers was everything else that we are seemingly dependent upon that comes from other nations that are imports. Because as we very quickly saw a year or so ago, that once that supply chain even gets a little hiccup, it can make things rough in a hurry. Well, let me break the news to you. If there's any kind of major conflict going on, you can expect those supply lines to be interrupted dramatically, if not completely shut off in some cases. Guarantee you, if we go into some type of military conflict with China, they're not going to be importing goods to us or exporting goods to us. So that alone is going to put us in a bind. So that I'm saying this stuff. This is why it's essential to be ready. Don't be the person with the clear trash bags out there at the gas station, filling them up, putting them in the trunk of your car. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. And make sure you are concerned with food. I think that's going to be the downfall for a lot of folks. I really do. Yeah, I've that's been on my mind. The rockets from Lebanon. When I saw that headline, I was like trying to figure that one out. Man, I'm calling it a zinger. They're gonna get a zinger in there. I'm telling you, they're gonna get a zinger. They're gonna get a good one, especially if the IDF has got troops on the ground right now, and they're tearing shit up. At some point within the next week, I think you're gonna see a significant attack. We'll see. We'll see. Like I say, it's only a matter of time before somebody slips them something that can actually get the job done. So, I mean, because what's going to be said? I mean, they already know, or I mean, at least even if it wouldn't be true, the propaganda is that Iran supports them anyway and backs them and helps them. And so what's the difference? What's the difference if they're giving them bottle rockets or they actually give them a guided missile? What's the difference? Support is support. Only a matter of time. I don't know that hitting that power plant would be such a spectacular idea, but they might think so. I don't know. And then I've got another level of WTF that I personally take this because my head has to. If I've got to play these games, if Israel would get attacked in such a manner that they would deploy one of their nukes that they can neither confirm nor deny, what happens then? Because remember, they can neither confirm nor deny for a reason. Because I don't believe they're supposed to have them. So, what happens then? And there's a good reason I asked this, by the way. Because there's this city named Damascus that the good book says is going to get leveled. And I have a feeling it's going to get leveled by a nuke from Israel. Why I say what happens then. Man, I'm telling you, I think this is going to blow up quick. I really do. I just hope it mostly stays the hell away from here, but I don't think it's gonna. And I feel for those that live on the coast. So, we're pretty well about smack dab in the middle. I feel a little more comfortable with that, aside from the idea of the Mississippi River. But, there's a little more safety being in the center of the country. Could you imagine a Red Dawn moment? That would be so surreal. That would be so surreal. Anyway, trying to think if there was anything else that really stood out from the day. I know there was things, but not sticking in my head. Reckon I can do headlines and get the hell out of here for the week. Let's see. One moment. Do. Oh yeah, that was an interesting. Let's see. No, not seeing some. I thought there was a couple things I shared out today on my Facebook, but I'm not seeing it. One moment. Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll just roll on over to headlines. We'll get those out of the way. we'll put a bow on this week, and I can look at trying to get a prepper closet video done for you before Sunday. And for Patreon, I'll try to get that video done for the hybrid hydro grow pot. So, and then fun, plenty of other projects. I'm gonna probably, before too long, I'm gonna put the tents up and do that video, just so I can get that done out of the way and get those put back up, just to get them aired out, checked over, and all that good stuff. So, can't think anything else. Let's do some headlines so I can get the hell out of here. Alright, everything is from today. Israel has a right to defend itself, Biden tells Netanyahu, as Blinken calls Palestinian leader Abbas to condemn rocket attacks. Bitcoin sells off wipes $365 billion from crypto market. Tokyo vaccine czar blames rigid jab approval processes for Japan's lagging COVID-19 inoculation program. IDF approves plan for possible ground invasion into Gaza as Netanyahu reportedly rejects Hamas truce offer. And this was a headline I was thinking of earlier this is why I was saying I didn't know. I hadn't heard anything else, because this was the headline I was thinking of. Zelensky targeting opposition leaders for treason won't help Ukraine's unity problems, but could shatter the country for good. Google fined $120 million by Italy's antitrust authority for abusing market position to block rivals' smartphone app. Russia calls on Israel to immediately end settlement of Palestinian territories and maintain peace at Jerusalem's sacred sites. Now, this is part I was talking about a while ago, okay? Pay attention to what Russia is saying. They're telling Israel to immediately end settlement of Palestinian territories, meaning not just stop attacking them, but get the hell out. So, in my opinion, Russia's going one step further than, well, I won't say necessary, but you know what I'm saying. To bring peace, they're kind of going one step further. Just saying in the conflict, they're saying get out. So we'll see. That, to me, that struck me as kind of strong. A strong approach. Germany relaxes quarantine rules for travelers from popular tourist spots as COVID-19 infection rate declines. American Republicans mocked by Brits for insinuating Queen of England supports voter ID laws like they do. Russian farmers about to reap bumper grain harvest. School searched in remote Russian city after teenager threatens copycat attack based on horror Kazan shooting that left 9 dead. Israeli media in hot water after state TV broadcasts lynching of Arab by Jewish mob. Japanese government sued by South Korean fishers over planned release of Fukushima contaminated water. Oil pipeline cyber attack exposes America's multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure security crisis. Russia's largest ever cut diamond goes for $14.1 million at Swiss auction house after almost 2 years of polishing. Armenian PM sounds alarm over incursion by Azerbaijani troops, sparking fear of fresh conflict after bloody Nagorno-Karabakh war. Bella Hadid receives widespread support for statements condemning ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. Rihanna accused of pulling an All Lives Matter after saying both innocent Israeli and Palestinian children suffer. And, you know, I don't often ever stand up in defense of these idiots, but I get her point completely. I think that if you're okay with harm or death coming to children of another group of people just because that group is in one way or another or in every way different from you, there's something wrong with you and you need help. Seriously, I'm no joke. If you're just okay with that and think that just because whatever that those children don't deserve to live. There is no right in that. There is no righteousness in that. You can't claim any. I don't get why Rihanna is being condemned. I don't get it. And I'm probably the last one that you would ever hear say something like that, because I normally myself would probably condemn Rihanna. But she's right there. We need to ensure girls are included. Senator shuns constantly changing judgment of today's cancel culture in transgender row. Where did this conclusion come from? Beijing slams Aussie think tank that says China caused birth rate decline in Xinjiang. Foreign tech giants to be forced to open offices in Russia as officials look to stop companies ignoring demands from the regulators. IDF seemingly celebrates leveling Gaza residential block with before and after meme on Instagram. Florida governor to pardon everyone in the state charged with breaking COVID restrictions. Western messaging about rules-based international order designed to undermine UN and circumvent international law, says Russian foreign minister. Completely inappropriate. Top scientists denounce Big Pharma for implying annual COVID booster shots are crucial. And you hear that. Top scientists are denouncing Big Pharma for pushing this annual COVID booster shot thing. This is going to go out of hand in a hurry. Cancel culture debate rages as American Idol singer nixed over KKK-themed video from when he was 12. A Scottish MP mocked for photo shoot of his phone call to Israeli embassy to de-escalate Hamas conflict. Prison imam praised bin Laden and preached destruction of satanic Vatican in Italy, says police. More than a quarter of EU adults reluctant to get COVID vaccine, a survey finds. China aiming to reuse 60% of urban household refuge by 2025 as Beijing strives for less wasteful future. Russian-born Ethereum creator Vitalik Buterin, I know I said his name wrong, donates $1 billion in crypto to pandemic-hit India. EU allegations that Russia intends to absorb and de facto integrate Ukraine's Donbass are totally false, the Kremlin insists. The headline was a bit hard to read. Newsmax host accused of anti-Semitism after calling Israel the home country of American Jews. Let's see. With Russian opposition figure Alexei Navalny jailed, popular backing for protests supporting him dwindles, a survey reveals. UK PM's office accuses France of issuing another EU threat by blocking financial services deal to wrangle fisheries access. Amazon offering $100 to new employees for proof of COVID-19 vaccination as company set to bring on 75,000. Cops claim ashes of dad's murdered daughter as meth and dump them on the ground. Quebec becomes latest to halt giving first doses of AstraZeneca's COVID-19 jab in change to vaccine campaign. Let's see. German government's wealth report shows disparity between rich and poor is solidifying. Protesters force UK immigration officers to release 2 men detained in Scotland after crowd surrounds van. Ethics violation sanction may be on the cards for Marjorie Taylor Greene as AOC expresses security concern after in-person spat. UK PM Johnson says he's anxious about Indian COVID-19 strain, won't rule out local lockdowns as cases of variant jump. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio mocked for promising free fries for getting COVID-19 vaccines, awkwardly eating a burger at a presser. Ukraine court orders house arrest of opposition leader Medvedchuk, who is suspected by Kiev of treason. CDC and Fauci say vaccinated people can resume normal activities without masking up, with a few exceptions. 3 rockets fired at Israel from Lebanon amid escalating violence between Israeli army and Palestinian militants. IDF announces Israeli ground troops attacking Gaza Strip. Cuomo tries to redefine sexual harassment as he pushes back against accusers. That's you feeling uncomfortable. It's a quote that he said. Greenwald blasts Intercept over hit piece that claims conservatives' riot video smears Black Lives Matter. Priest who held service for Biden's inauguration resigns as head of California University over misconduct at booze-fueled dinner. Vaxxed or masked, Biden tells Americans, but he gets rejected as negligent or dictator by both Democrats and Republicans. Seems to me like the people ain't having it. Good for them. Anyway, that's it. That's the headlines. Off like a Band-Aid. I'm telling you, just keep an eye on things. Continue to get ready. Aside from that, I will see you all on Sunday. So have a good weekend. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. Shabbat Shalom.